welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick Andrew, and we got some sponsors here.
Oh, I got sponsors. Let me tell you, they love us. LHC Group, all your home health care needs, go by. Tell them you want to see Harold Taylor. Maybe Harold Taylor can come out and give you a little rub down, you know, physical therapy or something. But they've got physical therapy services for in your home. They've got nursing that they can send to your home if you need nursing care, any kind of equipment you need in your home. They do hospice care. They do palliative care. They've got that health and wellness center right there on Heather Drive. Huge operation with brand new tennis courts. Finest around with those big old lights that don't attract bugs and a bright, bright, bright. Even late at night, you can go out there and have a good time and play. What else I got to tell you about LHC? It's all about helping people, locations all throughout the United States. Right. How about our next sponsor? How about Dixie Storage? All your storage needs, personal, commercial, all around the parish. They have locations, Port Barry, Appaloosa, and Washington. And you know, if you need a sign, let's say you got a lake association and you need to put a little sign that says, if you got problems getting in the lock, call this number, and you put Pierre's number on it. Dixie Storage can make those little plastic type signs.
And have made them for us.
And they make them fast. You just go by, you tell them what you want, they'll make them. Very, very aggressive pricing. Can flip it over for you real quick. You know, those little one-shots. You know, you're not going to be buying 1,000 signs to put all over the parish. You're just trying to buy 1 or 2 signs for your property. Say, keep out, or, you know, lock the gate when you finish, or whatever. They do all that for you at Dixie. Also, can weigh your truck. They've got Dixie One Trucking, where they'll actually deliver loads for you, do inventory control by moving stuff between your warehouses, or if it's a warehouse you're renting from them. They've got their sister company, A Plus Glass, with locations in Opelousas and in Lafayette. They'll do all your glass needs. They fix your windshields, they inspect your cars, from the littlest subcompact to the biggest 18-wheeler.
I want to go over a few of the late obituaries that occurred recently, and Miss Zetta Reed Stelly overlooked mentioning that. That's a few days ago. Of course, she was the wife of Mr. Andy Stelly, one of the finest carpenters that's ever lived, built a lot of houses in and around St. Landry Parish. And she, of course, was survived by her sons, Warren Stelly and his wife, Marlene, Jay Stelly and his wife, Judy, Tommy Stelly, all of Lafayette, Willie Stelly and his wife, Connie, and Raymond Stelly and his wife, Brenda, all of Baton Rouge, and one daughter, Joyce Bourke, Hewitt Bourke's wife. Joyce has worked, I'm not sure if she's retired from Queen of Angels Catholic Church in the office there. And that would be her aunt, Novella Taylor.
I think Novella retired.
Right. And they not much difference in age, but was the aunt, the Reed. Novella was Novella Reed before marrying years ago. So our deepest sympathies to the family, and I know that family real well. Ms. Dolores Holloway, who I didn't know that well, but her husband was a longtime employee over at the sign company on West Landry. Marcan Advertising. And also in love and memory of our beloved mother, Miss Lucy, better known as Duplichan. Very, very active in the school system and the political circles. If there was a political event, there was a political election going on, you knew she had picked her a candidate.
This would be her year to have fun.
Have fun, because she loved it, and I had some fond memories of working with her. When she told you she was aboard the team, she was part of the team, she was part of that team. She worked. She didn't like to lose. Mr. Francis Arno, can't say that I know him or knew him. He's age 72, but I know his daughter, Mona Bergdorf, and her husband, Brad, who whenever I need a little extra hand, I can call Brad and he will be there. Might be working out of town, but when he comes in, he'll be there to see if he can help. Always has been a help. Of course, his mom and daddy worked for our company.
Jan and Jack.
And Jack Bergdorf. And a person who was known for many, many years, because he lived to be age, I think, 92. So you get to know a lot of people, especially if a large portion of that was served as in politics. and I'm speaking of Mr. Howard Austin, who passed away early last week, was buried, I guess it was Saturday, I guess he was buried. Or was it Monday?
The day you and I went to the funeral, which was, that was Monday.
Yeah, we went.
Monday.
Yeah, we went.
Sure.
We went to the wake.
That's right.
We sure did. We surely did. Mr. Howard retired with a very successful military career.
Correct.
According to some friends, he came back with some money. We're not going to tell you how he made that money while he was in there. I did a little bit of that same kind of lending. He was very active in the community. He worked hard for the civil rights movement, but he was never one to create confusion or anything. He worked at it always I don't know,
He followed Dr. King's example of doing it without violence and to try to work within the system to make it happen.
To make it happen. And it has happened in our community, and it's people like Mr. Howard Austin.
And you and I got the opportunity. We got there just as the ladies' rosary group was saying the rosary. We got a chance to say the rosary.
That's correct. And Rita Kelly, Rita Barn Kelly, her family name was Barn. She was a Barn from Opelousas. Kind of remember when they met, when she met her husband, Gary Keller, who was an administrator at Opelousas General Hospital, probably back in those days when he met her. I think that's how it was. And then, of course, he has continued on. He's retired a couple of times, and he keeps coming back. And Rita was by his side. And
they went to Florida. I think they had a child accepted to play football at Florida. So he took a hospital job in Florida so they could be close to watch the child play. So I mean, he was a mover. He was a mover.
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean.
That's right. So.
But he could. He was very talented.
She came from a large family in Opelousas. Another person who died was Miss Dorothy Rivette Morris. And reading through the obituary, her husband, of course, was Lee Morris, who was about my age, maybe a year or two older than me, and we knew each other very, very well. So my deepest sympathies to the family of Miss Dorothy Morris.
And what you got? One more?
I got one more here, and this is a young man who was about my age. I guess he's about a year or so 75. He's 2 years younger than me. His sister June Rackley graduated with me in 1955 from Opelousas High School. And of course, I'm speaking of the death of DeWitt Rackley. And their father was from the Carolinas, and he would hang these hams and let the mold cure with the mold and all. That was, when he'd let you in that room there, that was something to see, because we Cajuns
didn't do that. You smoke your meat.
Smoke it and save it. But Dr. Rackley, that's the way he did it. And of course, DeWitt stayed with medicine. He was a pharmacist and was living in Lafitte, Louisiana, way down there. And I would hear about him occasionally. It's a shame. I don't know that I saw him since graduation back in the time when I graduated 2 years earlier than him with his sister June. So if anybody listening to the program can pass this on and have June call me, I'd certainly appreciate it. Like to talk to her, because I see he is survived by her. She's still alive. So please let us know. And thank you to Philip Cresswell sent this to me. Absolutely. And of course, Sandra Mistrick sent it to him. So got to me. So thank y'all very, very much. The Times-Picayune carried this, and he's going to be there's going to be a memorial service at a later date.
This weekend, Saturday, at the Embley Grounds on May the 10th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. is going to be FUR's first annual shindig. And what FUR's is Friends Underwriting Rescues. And what it is, a group of people in our area with the St. Landry Parish Animal Shelter. Some of the animals weren't always the best kept. They've revamped some of the things going on. So a little independent group is trying to help volunteer time and try to do a lot of help. Our own friend, Miss Mary Richard, very, very active with the group there.
Oh, she walks her dog all the time.
The dog's with her all the time.
In between doing somebody's haircut, I tell you what, she'll walk that little dog of hers.
If you bring your animals this weekend, I have all kinds of things for kids to do, from fun jumps to music, but you can bring your dog. Just make sure your dog's on a leash. They'll have a photographer to take pictures with your family, with your dog. You can go by.
And that's kind of hard to do. It's kind of like taking a picture of a horse.
That's right.
Very difficult.
Hard to get that face to point the right way. They also will do free microchipping. So if you're worried about your dog, they do the microchip inside the shoulder.
Very popular.
Very good if your dog should get away. Somebody steal your dog. When the dog pops up, they run that scanner. Poop, they know exactly who you are with your phone number. Very good thing to do. So go by this weekend from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you want to adopt an animal, a lot of the animals will be there for adoption
and
as well.
I understand quite a bit of work has been done by our parish government
to update the facility.
To update it. So I want to thank all the councilmen and the president for taking heed, and it's a very serious matter. A lot of the older people today, I keep saying this, they'll pass up taking that medicine to take care of that cat or that dog.
And my dog just turned 10 years old. I brought him to have his little checkup over
so that's 7 times 10?
With me, like a 70-year-old man.
Older than you?
But I tell you what, he's spry. He's still pretty spry. We're hanging with him. So far, so good. He and I are both there. When he goes, I don't know if they'll keep me at the house. He likes me, so I get to sleep inside. But if he wasn't there, they won't have nobody to take up for me some days. They say I'm ornery.
Okay.
How about this weekend? I just want to say
we've already had that.
Hello and thanks to our friend Paige Malonzo at the Silver Slipper. Big crowd. If you get a chance to go by and eat, a nice new little restaurant at the Silver Slipper, go by.
I'll have to go by, Paige. I'm sorry, I haven't been yet.
Very, very nice. And I saw Governor Edwards there with his lovely wife and the baby.
And you didn't take a picture?
Well, I took a couple of pictures. I don't have them with
me. Okay, all right. You're trying to sell them. I understand how that works.
That's right.
You probably have them on Facebook or what? No, what's the one you sell things?
Oh, you sell eBay.
eBay. It's probably on eBay.
Sure.
If y'all want to see that picture, you probably have to pay for it.
That's right. This is a free show.
I know. Yeah, we don't charge.
That's right.
Let's get a couple of pictures.
I got some. How about this one right here?
Well, this young man is at the Grand Hotel in Natchez, Mississippi, and when he saw me, I guess all those white people in the lounge there, he ran across the other side of the bar and came give me a big old hug, and that's how we feel about Brian. And he fixes me a virgin drink of margarita and whatever.
And that's just as good.
Just as good. And thank you, Brian, for being my little friend. And of course, I was attending. Remember, last week we filmed the movie, the show on Tuesday. We usually do it on Wednesday, like we're doing it today. But we did it last Tuesday because there was a big function going on. Keith Fountain with the Fountain Agency. He handles FEMA flood claims, and there's a lot of those that have occurred in recent years, none in the past year, but he has Sandy over on the East Coast really gave him a lot of work.
And he has like a get-together, fun time, but then a bunch of seminars to train people.
Continuing education. You've got to get so many hours of continuing education.
Having a little cocktail hour.
And this is on the street. The hotel is to the left, and to the right is the Mississippi River.
Grabbing T-shirts, I see.
Yeah, he gave everybody a T-shirt. What a man.
There's the man himself.
There he is himself, Keith Fountain. What a man. Thanks so much. And I did.
Okay. Your friend making drinks.
Yep. And
there's Noel Bunell in green.
Green. And the young man next to him on the other picture is from Montana. His mother is probably the most knowledgeable person working with the FEMA program.
We're going to take a break for a minute. We're going to come back with more photos and more fun here on the Bobby Dupree Show.